Come on, lads!
And just like that, we are back. Essex Counties 2 Rugby, second promotion in 3 seasons for Kelevdon and Fearing Rugby Club. And we find ourselves on the RFU pyramid, tier 9, playing against opposition who have been in this division for quite some time now. They know the competition, so this is somewhat of an unknown territory for Kelevdon and Fearing. We have 5 first team debuts today, all available to see on the club Instagram site. And it should be a scorcher of a game. Kelevdon playing left to right in the first half. Writtle in the black and orange. Adam Parkins to get things underway. And just like that, the season's off. High ball, Writtle under, gathered well. Defensive lines up. AP with the first tackle. Neil trying to get over there. Not quite. Quick ball from Writtle. Advantage to Writtle. Not releasing. The interesting thing about this game is the two teams haven't met before in first team competition. So for Writtle, there's probably not too much information they've got on Kelevdon. But as you can see, we've come back for the first penalty of the game for tackler not releasing. Then we'll get the first look today at the kicking powers of Writtle Wanderers. And it looks like it's not gone. Collected by Scott, and we know he's got pace. He's looking for the outside. He finds space, he's still going, the offload to Parkins. And we're down, can we get over? Good counter rucking by Josh Taplin. Advantage Kelevdon. Ball out to Pendry. Finds Chiswell Rivas. Out to Tom Ward. To Bailey. Chop low. Whistle recover, defensive line are set. And we got the advantage for the offside. And you've got to say, it's a good start from Kelevdon. Counter ruck was good, but we come back for the penalty. And Kelevdon will be happy with this start. We had some pre-season games this year. Last season, we didn't get the opportunity due to the weather. Going for a bit of a drought at the time, something which is usually quite strange in British summers. But this year, we've had the same again, a lot of hot weather. And we will have the first line out of the game. Let's take a look at both packs. And the line out wasn't always a strength for Kelevdon last year. They were known for the scrumming power. Let's see how to get on. And Hamer's done well there to recover. Very well. Ball out, Pattle to Pendry. Parkins. Back on Stanbridge. He breaks the line. He breaks the tackle. And he looks like he's going to go under for the first try of the season. And that is exactly the start that Kelevdon and Fearing will have wanted. All started from a fantastic line out. Great take from Hamer. Quick ball to Pendry. And ball out to Stanbridge, who has just scored on his first team debut. Well, if that's how the game's going to start, I think we may be in for an exciting season. Early days, but the step up psychologically has clearly not had a negative impact on the boys. And as I said at the start, I think being a new team into the competition, they are somewhat of an unknown entity. The line-outs is something Kelevdon have been working really hard on in the pre-season. As I said, last year wasn't always a strength of theirs. But it looks like the boys have been putting work in. They've got a new system. And so far, it's paying dividends. It looks short. Nope, gathered by Scott. Advantage for the knock on there. Ball out quick. Outside centre puts a kick through. And it's got a nice little roll on it. Scott gathers. Into Reeve. Reeve finds some space on the outside. Offload back inside to Pattle. Into traffic. And it looks like a turnover. Writtle ball there. Against these teams, they do pride themselves on the turnover ability, and that is something Kelevdon are going to have to change into their game very quickly. You can't afford one-up runners anymore. You need to be in support. So the first Writtle line out of the game. Front ball, Hamer challenges, ball's up to 9. Tenner's hands on. Defensive line is good. We've got a knock on, gathered by Burgess. And Burgess has been a big impact player during this pre-season. It's his first team debut today. And from what I'm hearing of the coaching staff at Kelevdon, they're all very impressed with how he's been training. So just like that, scrum time, and we get to see how both these packs have been preparing. Last year, Kelevdon were known throughout the league for the weight in their pack, and their scrum got them out of trouble a lot over the course of the season. A few changes this year, but they should still be confident in the power they have in that pack. Referee's not happy. Early push. Going to give them both a chance to reset. Zane Chiswell-Rivas at hooker today, and that man has played all over the pitch, and that is no exaggeration. Kelevdon feed. Ball at the back. Pass out to Parkins, who releases the pressure. Gathered by number 11, has he got room? He's found a line, taken down by the Kelevdon defence. Quick ball. Outside to the fullback, number 15. We can see from Rittle's game plan here, they throw the ball around quite a lot. They obviously want to use that quick ball to their advantage. Out to 12. Offload to 16. And we are now within the Kelevdon 22. Let's see how that defence holds up. Quick ball again. Out to 6. They have an overlap. He's not seen it. He's got himself. We've made the tackle. It's quick ball again. The ten's going to go himself. Little tip over the top. And it is gathered by Connor Reeve, who comes back on the inside. He's looking for the offload. Plays it safe. We need to protect this ball. And Kelevdon have time here for Parkins to clear the lines again. And that is a lovely kick. When you have someone like Adam Parkins on the team, he can just change the game. All it takes is a kick or a little line break. And right there, you've just seen the quality he has with that boot. So the Writtle ball, just in front of the halfway line. Penn's reorganising his back line. And uncontested at the back. Back peel ball. A lovely little switch there from 10 and 13. And we're seeing early doors, Writtle do have that threat when it's quick ball. They want to move it quick. They have the legs. Half break there by the 12. Looks like a high tackle, so advantage is going to Writtle. Free play. We've got a little pick and go. Chopped by the Kelevdon defence. Another little chip from 9. And we are straight out, so we're back for the penalty. And we'll be interested to see what Writtle do here. It looks kickable. Score 7-0 at the moment. Kelevdon line speed has looked really good in defence so far. It's just making sure, especially with the new tackle height rules coming in, that we are not swinging in the arms and definitely not making contact with the head. You can see it in the pro game, the issues that high tackles have had in recent weeks. Hashtag free Tom Curry. And I think Writtle may be going for 3 here. And whilst we're waiting for the kick, today's match day is sponsored by Abacus, putting the shutters down on their competition. Hope you like that one, Brian. I'm not getting paid for this. Number 9 with kicker for Writtle today. And it's off the post. So it's live. The ball is live. Gathered. Writtle have got that ball. And they've got the shove on. Ball goes down. Defence needs to set quick. Ball out to 10, 12. It's 2 men. He breaks the tackle. Comes down. Looks about 5 yards short. Ball out to 16. Numbers in behind him trying to get a shove going. And it looks like the referee's put a stop to it. Can't quite see what's going on at the moment. But it looks like scrum ball Writtle. So I'm assuming we may have had a knock on when trying to turn over the ball there. So that's the threat Writtle has. That pace, getting the ball out quickly. They'll look in between defenders, they'll look for the gaps, and they have some strong ball carriers. And it's Writtle feed ball in. Scrum is moving, and that is a penalty. Looks like wheeling on the Kelevdon side. They've gone quick, out to 10. Referee says no. Come on back. He's not happy. He says, you weren't here, you weren't at the spot, it's not happening. Access denied. So a little period of pressure here now for Kelevdon. Defence last season was strong, conceding some of the lowest point totals in the league. Obviously that league season ended with the memorable day at Bancroft Rugby Club after winning the Merit 3 title against rivals Whittam. Whether Kelevdon can make it 3 titles in 3 years remains to be seen. However, they will be pleased with what's happened at the start of this game. They came out the blocks fast. Writtle looked a bit shocked. However, the same momentum has swung the other way. Ref looks happy this time. Writtle feed. Ball at the back. Out to 10. It's a bad pass. It's gathered by 12. He's been quite a handful so far, 12 for Writtle. Takes a few men each time. Ball out to 10. Whips out wide. We've got a 2-on-2. He cuts back inside. It was the wrong choice. It is gathered by Bailey Masink. Another first-team debutant for Kelevdon. So we'll go back. We'll take the initial knock-on. Writtle will probably be a bit frustrated there. They had the overlap, but the outside centre's chosen to go inside and try and go alone, go for glory. That's not like backs. Sorry, it wasn't a 13, it was a fullback. That explains it. If Kelevdon can clear the lines here, they will be really happy with that defensive set, because they have looked under pressure for a good 5 or 6 minutes now. If they can come out of here without conceding any points, that will be a win, and these games are all about the little wins. So Kelevdon front row today of Josh Taplin, captain for today, Zane Chilwell-Rivas at hooker, and Brian Atkins at tight head. And I think it may be the first game, actually, the first competitive game, where Steve Clements isn't in the front row. So it's all change, and it will take some time getting used to each other, learning how each other operates. But with the quality Kelevdon have in the squad, it's a very competitive side. So Coach John Beals will be happy with whoever he selects. Again, early push, referee giving both teams a talking to. A little bit naughty, but what do you expect? First game of the season. Paddle feeds in. And Rittle's got that scrum moving. We've got ball out. Parkins under the post. Oh, he's taking it himself. He needs support. Burgess is there. Slow ball. I expect Kelevdon to clear the lines here. Out to Stanbridge, who puts some air under that ball. Gathered by 15. Now he has space. He has space. Cuts inside, misses the tackle. Hit by Masink, and it is a huge hit. Pendry organising the defence. We're out to 10. Steps back inside. Switches play. Tackled by Ward. We're going blind. 3 on 2. And it's a good shot by Hammerhamer. And that's a Writtle penalty. I think offside. So Writtle will bring out the kicking tee and try and cut the deficit by 3. I mean, you would argue with the pressure that Kelevdon have absorbed here, that 3 isn't the worst thing in the world. But as we've seen from the England-Argentina game, you keep knocking those 3s over, and all of a sudden that game gets away from you. First game nerves, there's bound to be mistakes. So this looks kickable. Writtle 9. I was sent a team sheet, but I just didn't have time to learn it. And he's knocked that one, and that is going to be 3 points for Writtle. Parkins to get us going again. Oh, and that is a lovely kick. That has bounced and gone out. Okay, Ben's gone against me here. He's since gone out. It did look into me, Ben. It did look into me. I was closer, Ben, just saying. So Writtle elect to have the scrum. And we're less than 20 minutes into the season, and I've already had my first lot of bad banter from an opposing team player on the sideline. Fantastic. Concentrate on playing. Writtle feed. Scrum just about held up. Paddle off the line, we got a knock on there, and we could be in here. Ball kicked back, advantage will be for the knock on. Gathered by Burgess, offload to Pattle, and we're in! And Pattle will go under the post for the second score of the game. And he picks up just where he left off last season, top scorer last year, and that is the threat Jamie Pattle offers. Under the post, you expect this to be converted, and that will bring it to 14-3, Kelevdon and Fearing. What this will do mentally for the team is get them lifted, that's for sure. They've just absorbed a huge period of pressure. But when you have speedsters in your team, you always look just one mistake away from scoring a try, and that is exactly what Kelevdon and Fearing have done just there. And I've got to say, Burgess is getting himself around the pitch. First team debut, not a care in the world, throwing himself on the ball, and it's that effort which allows Pattle to get in there and score the try.
Great work. And again.
Whilst we're here, just like to give another shout out to one of our sponsors, the Lad Lounge in Kelevdon High Street. Make sure the boys are looking sharp with their trims. Gathered by Hamer, basketball-esque. Out to Pattle. Cuts inside. Oh, it's not a great offload. Gathered by Scott, but he has legs. We know he's got pace to burn. And he kicks out and releases the pressure. And it looks like actually we could have our first injury of the season. Danny Scott's holding his hamstring, and that is not good news for Kelevdon. We know that boy's magic. Yeah, looks like Mitch Bellingham's going to get ready to come on in replacement. So whilst we're having this water break, I think it might be a good time to speak a little bit about the history of Kelevdon and Fearing Rugby Club. Obviously, this is the first for us providing commentary on our games. We streamed them last year on YouTube. Not live streaming, but, you know, you can't ask for too much. We're only 3 years old. The dulcet tones you're listening to right now are your boy Big Tasty, host of Dog TV. And I will be here to nose up everyone all season long. I actually had a text this morning from team manager Ben Austin. Probably said something along the lines of, make sure you're professional on the microphone today. Well, joke's on you, Ben, because I can't read. Welcome to the show. So Kelevdon and Fearing started 3 seasons ago. Started by a group of fellas who were looking to change the way club rugby is ran in Essex. They wanted a club for the players, by the players. And you must say, actually, they've hit that objective. 2 back-to-back promotions, a cup final win, multiple socials. And the social media game has been a huge plus for Kelevdon and Fearing. Say everyone here is an amateur, volunteer, nobody's getting paid. But what we've managed to put on in less than 3 years is fantastic. Players have their own photo shoots. We have sponsors. The games are on YouTube. Partners are able to get involved with the club. So I think the objective is being met so far, and it is a great club to be involved with. If you are watching this and you're at Club Rugby, feel free to get yourself down to Rye Lane Tuesday and Thursdays at 7 p.m. We are always looking for players for our first team and social team. So just to confirm, Danny Scott is off with a hamstring injury, very unfortunate, and it's Ben Smith who will be replacing him at fullback. So we're going to reset play with a Writtle line out, 10 metres out from the Kelevdon line. Score 14-3 to Kelevdon at the moment. Writtle ball, we're going to set up for the maul here. You've got to say the battle of the forwards so far, Writtle will be happy with how it's going. 9 darts off the scrum. He's not seen by Pendry. And he looks like he's over for the try there. It's a 14-8 with a kick to come. Good sniping from a 9, but I think Kelevdon will be disappointed there. Came around the corner. Nobody was aware. Nobody was watching. Slipping concentration. This is what happens to you at this level. And the kick is good, and the score is 14-10. Kelevdon is still with a small lead, but Writtle will be buoyed by the try they've just scored. So Parkins to get us underway again. Big chase needed. It's a good kick. It's got height. Covered by the second row, uncontested. Strong carry, breaks a tackle. And he's chopped there by Stanbridge. Ball out to 10, goes for the kick. Chiswell Rivas after it. It's got some legs on it, it holds up. And a handoff, breaks a tackle, and he's met by 2 Writtle players. Good ruck defence there by Kelevdon. Box kick is blocked. Gathered by Pendry. Hit straight away by a Writtle defender. You've got to say the chase from Writtle at the moment is very intense. We've got a whistle. Chiswell Rivas is down. I'm not sure what the end result of that's going to be. But it is all a little bit messy at the minute from Kelevdon. They need to tighten things up like it was in the first 5 minutes. And I'm going to put that one down to a tactical rest from Chiswell Rivas. He knows what he's doing. And it's going to be scrum Kelevdon ball. Whilst we're here, I'm joined by club captain Dave Briggs. Briggsy, what do you think of the first half? What do the boys need to work on?
Some unbelievable plays, like to break through those lines, like really good. Just, I'd say, getting off our line a little bit quicker, and it's quiet out there. Yes, we've stepped up in leagues, but let's own it. Let's fucking stamp our authority.
Absolutely. Would you say the boys will be pleased so far how the first half has gone on the whole?
On a whole, yes. Penalty count is killing us a little bit, but we'll keep going. We'll keep plugging away.
Cheers, Dave. Kelevdon feed. Writtle getting that shove on again. He's putting him under pressure. Pendry out to Parkins. Parkins into traffic. Chop low. It's a good tackle. And penalty Kelevdon. Unfortunate because we looked like we had space on the outside then. But then again, you will be happy to clear your lines and get out of that 22, which we seem to have been in for quite some time now.
I didn't see out, pal.
Parkin clears his lines and that ball is gone. I already got someone looking for these balls because they are gone in the jungle. So we'll have a Kelevdon line out just in their own half. And the hunt for the ball continues. AJ Mallows, what a good sport. The lineup's been evenly contested so far. I think Kelevdon have won all of theirs and Writtle won all of theirs. It's back pod, it's dropped. Paddle recovers out to Pendry. It's not the greatest pass. Parkins recovers, steps aside, makes a man miss. Eric's to tackle. Down he goes. Kelevdon are in. They've got opportunity here. Writtle are scrambling. And it's slow ball. Referee said to use it. Stanbridge organises defence. Out to Stanbridge. Ooh, that looks like a high shot to me. Advantage, yep. Ball out. And they've gone for the little chip. We'll come back for the penalty. And that is a high shot. We've not seen too many of them, to be fair. All this chat about the high tackle rules. It has been quite a fairly contested game. I think both teams have behaved themselves. Nobody's being naughty. And Parkins will look for touch. And it's a strong nudge there. So for the first time in about 15 minutes, the ball is in the Writtle half. May just relocate myself at the pitch to make sure no naughty language is caught on the microphone. Atkins to throw it in. Back pod again. Straight to Neil Murray. Referee says not straight, so we bring it back. Writtle will elect for the scrum. Rightly so, because it has been an area of dominance for them so far. I think early assessment for this game, it's not been the smoothest. Both teams would be happy with me saying that. There's been some moments of magic, but on the whole, you can tell it's just season opener. Both teams are still getting used to how they want to play. And it is quite hot here today as well. It's still hot and humid, so it's probably sapping the energy out of the boys. Writtle feed, back of the scrum. Out to fly half. Goes for a kick. He's got some really good height on that. Reads under pressure. He gathers. And he's got some space. Cuts back inside. Passes on the ball. Met by a brick wall of a Writtle defence. And it looks like it's going to be Kelevdon penalty. Hard to see from here. I'm not sure if it's tackle not releasing or man off his feet at the ruck. Either way, it's a let off for Kelevdon again. We know Kelevdon like to play with the ball in hand. He likes his UA. Sometimes he doesn't have to be thrown around. The ball's not gone here. So 18's got a chance to return it. He breaks a tackle. And all of a sudden, Kelevdon are back on the halfway line. Out to 10. Whipped out to the fullback. Little switch. 12 has room. Tackle by Hamer. Thrown over the top. And we are back for a penalty. Let's go forward pass there. But we're going to come back all the way to the other side of the pitch for a Writtle penalty. Said it is hot here today. And whilst it's hot, you might be thinking about a nice beverage. So it's time to introduce another one of our matchday sponsors, Essex Spirits Co. Based in Great Meadow, Chelmsford, offering premium gins and spirits for the community and nationwide. Again, I'm not getting paid for this. Why am I not getting paid for this? Doing more than his marketing team. I'll have words. Don't worry, I'll have words. Anyway, Writtle have the line out at the Kelevdon 10. If they can get a shove going here, they'll feel confident they might be able to go all the way. We're not far from half-time. Kelevdon won't want to concede here. And it's gathered. Oh, it's lost. Referee says, no, knock on Kelevdon. Writtle put in. Again, it's a little bit scrappy. A little bit scrappy-do. I must admit, this is new for me as well, all this commentary malarkey. The amount of looks I've had from concerned passers-by seeing me talking to a phone for 30 minutes straight. I'm feeling a bit self-conscious, I'm not going to lie to you. Commentators normally have their own little balcony, don't they? I'm stood on pitch side, looking like I need help. Not ideal. If there are any local scaffolders who want to build my own balcony, feel free to get in touch. Because I'm not sure I can deal with this for 80 minutes. Oh, my mistake, it's Kelevdon putting there, so the first knock-on must have been Writtle. And we've gone straight down there. Looks like a loose head side for Writtle may be hurt. He's slow getting up. Fingers crossed he's okay. A little bit ginger getting up, but I think he's going to be alright. As I said, the ground's quite firm today, so going down head first into the dirt probably isn't the best idea. So we'll try again. Jim Pattle to put the ball in. Tells his scrum is ready, feeds. Writtle getting that scrum moving again. But the ball's out. Out to Pendry. Parkins. Is he going to kick? No. Oh, it's a great tackle from the centre of Writtle. The ruck's been defended well. Slow ball. Both teams want to reset here. We're out. Tappling to take a couple of yards, take some pressure off. Looks like we have hands in the ruck there. Ref's not seen it. Pass out to Pendry. Out to Ward. Breaks tackle. And he's on his own. He goes for a little pop. Dangerous in that area, but it works. And the support's not there quick enough. Writtle get a penalty right in front of the post. That is not what Kelevdon want. And I think they're going to go for 3 here. Make it a 1-point game. See, it's easy mistakes right now. Kelevdon are trying to play, but sometimes it doesn't need to be forced. You're in your own 10-metre line. You don't really want to be giving the defence an opportunity to get in your face. Clear your lines, get a kick, get up the pitch. We go again. I'm sure that's something John Beals was speaking to the team about in the half-time period. Unorthodox kick, but it goes for the post. So that brings the score to 14-13. Kelevdon with a 1-point lead. Not long left in the first half. But again, momentum, I have to say, is pretty much all with Writtle at this point. Writtle will be the happier team going into the second half.
Boys, come on. George. Quiet, come on. Kings, deserve to be more than a point up. Come on. Nice score for half time. Pressure. Straight back. Go together, boys. Go together. Come on.
Kelevdon's chase. It's a great kick off into space. Gathered. Oh, it's a big shot from Tom Ward. He's hitting with everything there. Ball out of 9. 5 takes 3 men down again. Some strong carrying there. Heyman needs to leave. Counter ruck is good. No, referee doesn't like it. Advantage Writtle, and we'll have a penalty there. I mean, it's a huge hit from Tom Ward. But we need to be listening to the referee's calls. He's clearly said, ball's lost, and they've continued to pile in. And again, they give Writtle a let-off there, because that hit from Tom Ward was absolutely huge. A 10 puts a great nudge on, and they will get out of their own half. I mean, that's what you want to see, amateur rugby or not. You want to see defenders flying off the line. You want to see people putting the shoulder in. It was textbook height. He's dropped the hips, he's hit him under the chest. Perfectly legal tackle, and he's absolutely clattered him. And it lifted the team up, and you could see from the energy in the ruck afterwards. But unfortunately, when the referee says no, you've got to let go. So Hamo will look to steal this. We're going back pod. Gathered well. Out to 9. It's a knock on there. And, oh, scrappy again. Referee's going to say first knock on Writtle, second knock on Kelevdon. So that'll be Kelevdon putting. Again, a little bit scrappy. Doesn't need to be. Can't be too long left in this first half. Kelevdon would love to make a bigger gap in the game, get some more points on the board before going into the changing rooms. Paddle to feed. Whistle again. That nudges. The ball's not gone in. The ball's straight out. Writtle have the best of this scrum so far. Got to say, whilst we're here, the facilities here at Paradise Road are fantastic. I know Writtle had a change of venue a couple of years ago. They were at the college in Chelmsford. But this pitch is absolutely beautiful. So we'll try again. Paddle to feed. Again, Writtle get the shove on. Scrummy's wielding. Ball out. Ward pick up. Nowhere to go. Man straight over. Defended well. Ball is there for Kelevdon to use, but they want it slow. Offside, penalty. And Writtle gives him a little... Oh, Paddle's gone. He's gone quick. He's got space. He's being chased down. No support. He beats the 15. Little pop to Parkins. He's on his own. And referee says crossing. And we've got a head knock here. Writtle man goes down. It's not what we want to see. And for a split second, it looks like Kelevdon were going to be in. Every break so far has caused a lot of trouble for Writtle. Yeah, so crossing is the call. So Writtle get another let off and a penalty to get out their own half. It could be the half. We've not had the whistle yet, but both teams look like they're getting water on board. They may know something I don't. And Kelevdon show the respect, clapping number 12 for Writtle, who's taken assisted off the field. So that should give some confidence to the Kelevdon team. It's been a while since we've seen a line break like that, but they have so many threats in that team. Pattle and Parkins especially, they get half a yard and they are gone. The 10 nudges. They've got about 10 yards on that, so we will have the line out on the halfway line exactly. Five-man line out. Front man goes up, uncontested. Ball out to 10. 13 with a hard line. Goes for the grubber. Gathered by Smith. 2-on-2. He's going to run it. He could be in trouble. He finds Bailey. Masink gathers his time. Allows the rest of the team to get in. And tackle is not releasing. So that will be advantage Kelevdon. And Neil Murray takes the ball. He's met by a hard defence and it's a knock on. No advantage there. We'll take the early penalty. Not wrapping. Paddle goes again. Goes early. Breaks a man. Oh, he's brought down. Offload his good spurs. He loses the ball in contact. Ball goes backwards. Neil Murray carries it in. And Writtle are in over the ball. We apologise if he picks up any of the language there. So the 8 for Writtle is down. Will be a penalty for Kelevdon interfering. That quick tap and go has worked both times. Pattle's tried it so far. It is starting to get a bit heated. But that's rugby. That's what we love. That's what you want to see. So Parkins to get us up the field. And it'll give us about 5 yards there. Danny, not to go Joe Rogan on you here, but what happened?
Just rugby happened, really.
Rugby happened.
Yeah, picked the ball up and then went to turn, felt the hammy go. Just knew I was in trouble straight from there.
Cheers, Danny. It's a brutal game. Oh, referee's not happy again. He says, get back. So Kelevdon penalty. Can't be long left in the half now. And Parkins says, yep, that's kickable. Thank you very much. I will go for 3. So fun fact about Parkins, he works in law. So any penalties for him is triple the fine because he should know better. And team manager Ben Austin tells us it's the last phase. So if we nail this kick, that should take us with a 4-point lead into half time. And it's just wide, unfortunately. And that will be the half. Referee says, I've had enough. Half-time score, Kelevdon 14, Writtle Wanderers 13. And both teams will feel like they can win this game. And we're back. Welcome to the second half of this matchup. Writtle Wanderers to kick us off. Kelevdon playing right to left this half. Messages from the Kelevdon dressing room, from what I could see, was stopping the mistakes, stopping the penalties, and not having to play so fast in their own 22. There have been a couple of changes this half. Luke Curtis is off. Mitch Bellingham's on. Dave Briggs is on. Burgess is off. And that kick-off is 10 metres. Hasn't made for 10 metres, sorry. So that will be scrum Kelevdon on the halfway line, and that is exactly the start they will have wanted. Whilst we're setting up, I'm just going to grab team manager Ben Austin for a quick chat. Ben, tight game, but step up in competition. What was the words that went to the lads at half-time, and what do we need to do this half?
Be a bit quicker, I think. Take your chances a bit more. Be a bit quicker off the mark. There's some big spaces that have been created by Writtle, and people like Jamie Pattle need to take advantage of them as long as someone's on his shoulder.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ben. So, Pattle to feed. We know how dangerous he can be off the back of the scrum. And that is a good nudge. Writtle 9 sneaking up. Ball slow. Out to Parkins. Little skip is charged down. Gathered by Pattle. Knees down. Tackle made. Not releasing. Ball's back out Kelevdon way. No 9, so Pendry goes in. Murray to take. Referee gets himself in the way. Brian Atkins with the ball. Out to Pendry. Goes back solo the other way. Hit by Connor. He's not got support. Oh, and Parkins is straight in there. Tom Ward gets a few yards. The ruck defence has been really good. We've seen a change already from the first half. Parkins to clear his lines. puts his foot through it. There's space there. Oh, it bounces friendly straight into the fullback's hands, who gets a lovely nudge on. Chiswell Reeve has to chase. The bounce is good. Rivas breaks the tackle. Out to Stanbridge. Stanbridge decides he's had enough. It's a big kick into the Writtle half, gathered by 10. And we have our first game of tennis of the season. Andy Murray, eat your heart out. Gathered by Reeve. He's got supporting Ben Smith. Little dummy, show and go. He goes into trouble. Yeah, he's got support there. Pendry asks for it. Pattle with a box kick. Straight to 9. And referee says no advantage played there. We will come back for a Kelevdon penalty. So that game of kick tennis, you'd have to say, advantage Kelevdon. So as Writtle get the way back to 10, I can't see what the penalty was for. I'm going to assume it was either offside or a ruck infringement. Again, I apologise for anything I do miss. I'm literally stood on the sideline. And it's a fantastic nudge from Parkins. That is lovely. He just oozes class. What a man. So it'll be Kelevdon line out. 10 metres inside the Writtle Wanderers half. Front pod. Out the back to Ward. Ward gathers. He's got space on the outside. A little handoff. Looks like a high tackle, so it's advantage Kelevdon. Ball stolen, so it'll be another penalty for Kelevdon and Fearing, and they will be very happy with how they have started this half. It's a fine line between high-speed defence off the line and being offside, and if you can get it right, you're a nightmare for other teams to try and break down. But unfortunately for Writtle, they're a little bit too eager at the moment, and Parkins is going to have another go for 3, try and get a bit more breathing space in the match. Whatever happens today, I do believe Kelevdon have announced themselves on the Essex Counties 2 stage. To go from Merit 6 to Tier 9 in 2 seasons is a pretty impressive ordeal. And from here, that looks... Oh, it's hit the post. It's a live ball. Out the back. Off the post. That's a second kick this game. Writtle have one. Kelevdon have one. There is a slight breeze. There is a little bit of wind. But it will be a 22 dropout. And Writtle will have the opportunity to clear the pressure. It's charged down by Pattle. Briggsy gathers. Briggs out to Ben Smith. Ben Smith out to Josh Taplin, the skipper for today. And he's a handful when he gets moving. I tell you what. Hold up, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Pendry out to Stanbridge. He never had that ball. Referee says he's gone backwards. Mitch Bellingham with his first carry of the game. Chiswell Rivas has space. You don't want to give him space. That handoff is lethal. They have an overlap. Out to Reeves. He steps inside. Now, if we can get a quick ball here, something could be on. They've gone blind. Oh, and Pattle is met with a shoulder from hell. Out to Stanbridge. Briggs to take in. Looks for the offload. Decides to keep. Pattle comes in. Pendry wants. Again, looks slightly offside, but Pendry steps back in. He's not got a man with him. Pattle out to Parkins. Goes for a drop goal. Not quite George Ford, I'm afraid. Not this time. Just as good looking. You can see why he's gone for it. So it'll be another Writtle 22. And Writtle are absorbing the pressure in spades right now. I would have liked to have seen Reeves back himself on the outside. We know he's got pace. But again, you want to keep the ball. You don't want to lose it. And Pattle charges down again. And it's a big carry from the Writtle 17. Not often we see Hamer knock backwards. And Pattle's straight in there. Pattle will be happy with that. He just knocked a forward down. Ball out to the Writtle 10. He's found space. He's broken the line here. And it could be on. It's a lovely pass on the outside. Big tackle by Masink. Now Kelvin have to work hard here because Writtle are on the front foot. It's slow ball. 2 to carry. Met by a brick wall in defence. Atkins trying to organise a defensive line out wide. 6 to carry. They've not met him on the line there. You can't afford to let the big boys have room like that. Quick ball, out to 10. Show and go. And it looks like we have a knock-on. Yeah, first knock on Writtle. And Kelevdon will be absolutely thrilled by that defence. And that's the first bit of pace we've seen on the outside from Writtle, which show, actually, you want to break a line? We can break a line. It's exciting rugby. Who'd want to watch the World Cup? Get yourself down to a field somewhere in Essex and watch 30 men run around and throw a ball. I don't care if your missus wants to go to IKEA. Get yourself down. It's a strong scrum, out the back to Pattle. Finds Parkins, puts his foot for it, clears his lines, and it's a lovely nudge. And that'll release the pressure, and Kelevdon will march up the pitch. Also, I just want to say, in case my missus is watching, that was a joke about IKEA. Don't leave me. Love you. Nah, she won't be watching. She won't be watching. I'm joking. I'm just showing off. So it's a Writtle line out. Back pod. Uncontested again. Out the back. 13 on a hard line. Defensive line slowed down in the last few minutes for Kelevdon. And the Writtle 4 with a big carry. Keeps moving. He's got about 10 yards on that carry after contact. We're out to 10. It's a little nudge. Smith's going to have to clear up. He calls for the mark. And he's just showing his veteran experience there, isn't he? He saw the man coming through. He knew he had time. He calls the mark. And he gets to release the pressure.
Trace together. Connectivity.
Connectivity, the word from head coach John Beals there. Oh, ball's not gone. Writtle find themselves on the 10 metre. Strong carry. Met by a brick wall. Oh, he's still on his feet. Wardy's trying to counter-recall by himself. Nearly gets there. Got to stay onside here. Good shot by Atkins. Writtle wants to recycle, but ball's slow coming out. And that's a turnover ball. And again, that is fantastic work by the Kelevdon pack. And it's a great knock down the pitch. Hopefully release some pressure. And it looks like Kelevdon were making another substitution. Neil Murray off the field. So Luke Curtis to kick back up and get back on. So Luke was a back last year, played him in centres, but he's packed on a good amount of muscle. And in his words, it's time for him to join the dark side. Well, I've seen this man drink. He's been part of the dark side for a long time. He just didn't know it. Atkins to throw. Hamer's up. It's a great throw. Off the top to Pattle. Pendry gathers. Masink. He's a strong boy, but he's met in defence. He's getting driven back. And ball's recycled. And ball was turned over and then it was lost. A bit scrappy. It was advantage Writtle, so the referee's going to bring it back for a penalty. Looks like a high tackle. The referee's gesturing. There was contact with the head. Again, not been too many of them today. But Writtle will look to punish Kelevdon's mistake with the 3 points. It's definitely kickable. Wind may play a factor. And if this goes through, this will be the first time Writtle have taken the lead today. Nine lines this one up. And it's dropped short, it's wide. Connor Reeve runs it back. He's got space. Tapkin to carry it. He's got no support, but he's going it alone. He breaks another tackle. Ball's out. Goes down the blind. Atkins runs it back to the ruck.
Distribute, Jamie.
Ball looks out there. Hands in the ruck. I mean, he definitely looks like he's come from the side there, but the referee says fine, play on. Out to Briggs. Briggs to Hamer. Met in defence, we need to get over quick. Nearly turned over. Ball at the back. Patter looking at his options. Out to Stanbridge. Back to Pattle. Handoff's a good one, especially on a back row player. There's no 9 here, so Chiswell Rivas will go in to clear up. Takes us a few yards. Clear up the ruck. Parkins to clear his lines. It's a lovely nudge. Gathered well by the 15. He's got room to run. Oh, it's a great knock in the middle of the pitch. I looked like Pendrew with the hit. They were telling us about that for weeks. Ugh. The defence set back up. 10 puts a little nudge through. Smith to gather. Smith's got time. Sends it back. And that has to be a late hit off the ball there. It's all smiles and hugs, but it definitely looked late to me. Referee says, hear no evil, see no evil. Nothing happened. I'm not so sure. I wouldn't dare say it to him, though. I'm too respectful. So Writtle with the line-out ball. Front pod. Gathered well. Brought down. Trying to set up a maul. They've got some movement here. Held once. They reset. They move again. Referee's happy. That's 2. Ball's out. Ball to 10. Oh, it's a great line, but he's met by a brick wall in Stanbridge. Out the back, full back, 2-on-2. They've covered up the ball well here, and we need to get the ball quick. Ball is out. They're on the blind. They've seen it. Out to 10. And they've lost the ball, and it looks like the 10's foot was in touch. Getting a bit heated now. Bit of handbags. We don't need handbags. It's been a lovely game. If you want handbags, get to Freeport. They've got some cracking deals on Gucci. So we've got another injury. Stanbridge has had a cracking game. Unfortunately, it looks like he's hurt his knee. So Burgess to kick back up. Briggsy in at centre. Burgess back on the back row. And we hope Stanbridge is okay. Like I said, he's in a fantastic game on his debut. But pressure now on is Kelvin and Ball on their own 5. And Rittle's line out has been a strength of theirs today. I don't think they've lost one to Kelevdon yet. There was one mistake where they had a knock on, but I don't think it's been stolen. Hamer's up. Oh, it's tipped. Gathered by Curtis. Driven backwards. And Kelevdon will surely clear the lines here. Out to Pendry. Pendry with a kick. And he's gained them about 7 yards. And if you heard noise there, that was the ball hitting me square in the arm. Don't be know I'm not playing anymore. Leave me alone. Just a magnet to the rugby ball. So 5-man line out on the 22, Writtle ball. And there's not been much to talk about this game, this second half really. Score remains 14-13. Back pod goes up, uncontested. Gathered well, off the top. Out to 10. Wanted to switch. Goes out wide. Whips it to the wing. Oh, it was an important tackle there, and it was made beautifully by Masink. Off the line. Great tackle. Can the tackler roll away? Referee's not seen it. 10 keeps. Offload to 3. Hit by Luke Curtis. Now they are on the front foot here, and the space out wide. Can Writtle see it? 10 looks up. Referee's blown his whistle, and Writtle looks like they could have been in there, so I'm not sure they'd be too happy with that. I'm not sure what it's been stopped for. So, looking at the defensive line, I'm assuming it's going to be a penalty Writtle and a chance to take the lead. Referee's having a word with both captains now. Have a word with you lads. Stop being naughty. I don't get paid enough to deal with this. He probably isn't saying that. Bad lip reading. Oh, and he's leaving the ball with Taplin, which makes me think they'll be very happy with that. It's a Kelevdon ball. I'm not too sure what the call was, but that's definitely a let-up. And as we reach the last 20 minutes of this game, the score remains 14 Kelevdon and Fearing, 13 Writtle Wanderers. Both teams having a conversation, trying to pep themselves up for this last 20. And it is. It's penalty Kelevdon, and Parkins will try and get them moving up the field. That's gone short. It's in the field of play. The 10's gathered. He puts it up in the air. Round 2 of kick tennis. Uncontested. He's gathered his own ball. Fair play to Writtle 10 for the effort he's put in there. Ball out to the 2. Pendry to make the hit. Helped by Curtis. No speed off the line. The 3 breaks the line. It's a little half break. Ball's out to 6. We know he's a handful. Taken down. Ward's over the ball. Nope, secured. They're going to go blind. Advantage Writtle. Great hit from Hamer. But again, there is advantage there. They've gone out blind. Out to the 6. Brought down. And now all of a sudden, they have no advantage. It's going to be a penalty. Writtle in front of the post. And you've got to assume they'll be going for the 3 here. It is right in front of the post. 1 point game. Yeah, and they'll go for the post. And for the first time today, you would assume Writtle will score the 3 and take the lead for the first time. And it's straight through the middle. Kelevdon and Fearing 14, Writtle Wanderers 16. So there's two ways this can go now. Either it galvanises the Kelevdon team, because now they're behind, they know they have to get a score. It's not enough to just hold out on defence. Or it can be demotivating, and it could take that extra bit of energy out of your legs. Hopefully Tapcon will get the troops going, and they'll come back with a bit more fight after this restart. 20-minute water breaks today. As I said, it is very hot conditions out here. No one got the memo. I'm dying of thirst. Nobody cares about me. Rightly so. That's my punishment for chewing everyone's ear off. Whilst we're having this break, another one of our team sponsors, Tanglewood. If you're into beautiful wine cellars and storerooms, get in touch. They know the stuff. It's a premium service. I could never afford it. That's not to say you couldn't. We live in an affluent area. Just because I'm not like you doesn't mean you can't treat yourself and get a nice wine cellar. Your missus will love you, I promise you. And water breaks over. Back to restart. 20 minutes to go in the game. Plenty of time for both teams to get a couple of scores and try and win this game, put this game to bed. Bit of confusion there. Luke Curtis decides to sub himself off. No, get back on. You got more work to do, son. Can't all be lazy like me. Parkins with a nice nudge. Into space. He's got a lovely bounce, and that's straight. He's bounced, and it's gone straight over the head of the winger. And all of a sudden, Writtle are on the back foot. I'll tell you what, with everything that happened with England Argentina last week, surely this game isn't going to come down to a drop goal. The writing's on the wall at the minute. 2-point lead. We've seen Parkins go for one already today. Hamer's up. Can't quite get to it. And referee says not straight. And that is a huge win for this Kelevdon pack. They will have head and feed 10 metres out from the Writtle line. And if they can win this ball, the Kelevdon backs will fancy themselves in space. That's where both tries have come from today. These breaks from the backs. So this could be a very exciting passage of play. Pattle to put in. And Kelevdon have a nudge here as well. They're moving backwards. Writtle are moving backwards, sorry. Referee says use. Out to Pendry. Going wide to Smith. Little nudge over the top. Wasn't the right option. It's going to take an awful bounce and it's straight out. So it's going to be a 22. Not sure if that was a pre-planned move or Smith saw the space and decided to go for it. But Writtle, I'm sure we'll see that as a victory. But for the first time today, the Kelevdon pack had the nudge of that scrum. Maybe tiring legs on the Writtle part, but that was the first time I've seen today that the Kelvin and Pat look to be moving forward at scrum time. So it's not to say that they can't win the next one as well. Ball's in. And again, Kelvin will move in. Ball's at 8, ball's out. 10 with a little chip and chase. And it's gathered by Kelevdon. Looks like a few people made contact with it. The referee says it goes backwards. So Kelevdon will win this ball back. Paddle into Curtis. He's on his own. Takes a few men down. Paddle closes his own space down. Flings the ball away because there's no support. And I think that may be turned over. Nope, it's recovered. Brings you in at 9. Out to Hamer. Out to Neil Murray. Sorry, Luke Curtis. Luke Curtis finds space. He pops it to Ward. Ward's still on his feet. The drive's on. Taken down. Kelvin on the referee stops it. We have a Writtle man down and it looks like a head knock. Not sure if that was gathering the loose ball or if it was the tackle on Ward, but he looks a bit sore. But again, Kelevdon getting the ball in play, keeping ball in hand, and actually linking up for a few phases, which is what we need. We've not had much consistency with ball in hand at the moment. It seems to be a few passes out, kick, or the ball is lost. So the more Kelevdon have the ball in hand, the more chance you have of scoring points. It sounds simple, but when you're out there, sometimes, heat at the moment, you're trying to make things happen and you force errors. So actually, this last 15 minutes or so, Kelevdon probably want to keep the ball in hand. Can't score without the ball in hand. So it's going to be a scrum, head and feed, Kelevdon. And the last two scrums have looked fantastic for the Kelevdon point of view. Writtle will look to reset, regather themselves, and hold them here. Referee whistles, he's not happy. Looks like an early set again. He's creeping back in. I think as both teams are getting tired, we're starting to see teams wanting to, call it cheating. Yes, but it's not cheating. It's just a little bit to try and help you get that advantage. Every team does it. So we'll reset again here. Referee looks happy this time. And the Kelvin and Pack are moving again. Paddle out to Pendry. Pendry to Missink. Little switch back to Pendry. Out to Parkins. High ball has to gather. And he hits him with the handoff of the season so far. Get off. Slow ball. Missink. Steps back inside. Needs to get down. He's held up here. He's moving and, yep, he's down. So it won't be a maul. Although referee may have called maul because he doesn't look happy that it's hit the ground. So it'll be head and feed Writtle Wanderers. Again, a few teething problems. Knowing when to go down and when you have your support. There's still plenty of time in this game. No need to panic. If Writtle can hold their defence, they'll be very happy with the effort that their boys have put in today. It's been an evenly matched game, to be fair. I think both teams have strengths in certain areas. Kelvdon's backs have been the focal point for me today, and the Writtle pack on the whole has been the dominant pack, which is new territory for Kelvdon. They're used to being the dominant pack no matter who we play. So ball in. Kelvdon moving already. Ball's at the back. Ball's out. 9 goals himself. Hits 10. Out wide to the fullback. We've got 2-on-2. Parkins with a tackle. Back to 10. Adam hits the tackle again. Parkins with 2 in a row. Flung it. Oh, it's a missed tackle. And Chiswell Rivas absolutely clattered him. Out to the second row, number 4. Writtle have momentum here. Out wide. Oh, we have a break. He's down and someone's over. Ben Smith's over. No. Off his feet. So Writtle go again. And they are creeping into the danger zone here. Oh! Tom Ward again flying off the line. Big hit on the 10. Ball's out. They have numbers. He's not seen it. Wrapped up well by Curtis. It does look like Writtle holding on, but referee says, no, thank you. Not happy with that. And he says Writtle penalty, and it is kickable. From where I was standing, it did look like a legal turnover, but I think unfortunately the referee wasn't in the best position to see it. And as far as he's concerned, the ruck was over and we had no right to have hands in. Now Chiswell Rivas down with a head knock. I think Writtle are talking about playing this. Understandably, the 3 points keeps it within a one-score game. If they score the try, they can make it a two-score game. And the clock is ticking. Tired legs out there now. First game of the season, it's always a hard slog. And I think, actually, looking at the bench, we've got 3 injured men on the bench, and Chiswell Rivas is down. So we could be in trouble here. We could see Kelevdon drop to 14 men. And this is the issue with the 3-men sub-rule in this league. You have your injuries, and all of a sudden you're in trouble. But he's made a sterner stuff. He's back up into the line. He's waved off Coach Beals. At least he's got a distillery to go to numb the pain afterwards. He's tapped and gone. The line's not ready. Chiswell Rivas back in with a big hit right after being down. They whipped it out wide. Back on the inside. Big tackle. Quick ball. Gone blind. The tight head carries. He's broken a tackle. And it looks like he's lost that. And that's a big hit in defence from the Kelevdon man. And that should be Kelevdon head and feed. But the clock is ticking and we do need to get moving. Coach Beals, could we see a George Ford situation here today?
Potentially. Territory is going to be the big part now. Discipline has caught us out a little bit, so playing in the right areas of the pitch is going to be important. If we can play up in the right areas, make the penalty, then potentially we'll knock it over and we'll take the points. But we've got to get there first. And Writtle are making a meal of it, making a job of it.
Cheers, John. We had the first advantage there, and we're quite fortunate actually because it looked like a bit of miscommunication. We kicked the ball back to the Writtle men who had an overlap, but it will be head and feed Kelevdon. There are a few high shots creeping in now, and unfortunately they're not being spotted. It's not what you want to see. You want to see consistency. But it did look like a clothesline from hell, JBL style. So Kelevdon head and feed. Interested to see what happens here. Not really a lot of time to be kicking territory away. So will the Kelevdon backline want to carry? Ball's feeded in. Ball to the back. Ball out. Paddle to Masink. Masink goes down, loses his footing. It's slow ball. Curtis goes. He's on his own. He's on his own. He manages to buy himself a crucial few seconds. Paddle out to Burgess. Burgess to the gain line. And the ball looks like it was stripped in the tackle there. They've kept it. Out to ZCR. Out to Bellingham. He hits him with a good day, mate. Ball at the back of the ruck. Patel looks up. Hits Pendry. Ball's flat. There's no movement. Step back inside. Parkins with a kick and chase. Gathered by the fullback. And it's a strong hit there. Hamer and Smith in. Ref says leave. The little dummy from a 10 back inside to number 5, Writtle. Strong carry. Not quite quick enough to get the turnover there. Pendry did his best. Back out to 10. He's managed the game very well today, the little 10, you must say. And Zane's over the top. Writtle are screaming for this ball. They can see there's an advantage. The back inside. Out to 6. We know he's a strong carrier. Breaks the tackle. Brought down. That looks stolen to me, and the referee agrees. That's a fantastic turnover. That might be Patel, you know. Scrum half winning turnovers. What a legend. So Parkins will look to get position here, surely, and go for the line out. We're still inside our own half. And remember, it's only a 2-point game. So a penalty kick or a drop goal will be enough to take the lead at this point. But obviously we need to get up the field first. It's a lovely nudge from Parkins. And that takes us well inside the Writtle half. Composure is the call from the sideline. Sometimes when you're managing a game like this, it's important not to get too excited. That's when the mistakes happen. And even though it's hard, you know, you're 2 points down, it's a tight game, you smell blood, you feel like you can win this, but you need to stay composed and not force things. And hopefully it will happen. Oh, Writtle has stolen that, but the bounce back's kind. And it's a knock on Writtle, and Kelevdon will get head and feed. That was nearly worst case scenario for Kelevdon then. But with how the scrums looked, actually, this could be exactly what they need.
Show me it, boys. Come on, show me it.
The back line set up. Pendry in at 10. Briggs in his usual position at 12. Masink in off his wing. And we've not seen ball in hand too much from Masink today, but he is a threat. A new signing for Kelevdon, and he has got some wheels. It's good ball. Back of the scrum for Patel. They look offside, but ref says okay. Out the back to Smith. Oh, and he's knocked it on. Now referee's going to bring it back. Oh, it looks like it could have been on then. Just a little handling error. And Smith might rue that chance, but I'm telling you now, if he gets another one, don't expect to see another mistake. So that'll be a knock-on, head and feed, Writtle Wanderers, and the clock is ticking. We must be in the last 10 minutes. I'm sure there'll be people in the league looking out for this result today. A new club on the pyramid. Not sure what they would have expected, but this has been a very closely matched contest. And that scrum is moving. 9's gone. Show and go. Out to 10. Charges at Reeve. He's found a man on the outside. In touch. And Reeve with a great tackle. Potentially game-winning tackle. And his teammates let him know about it. Patel's gone quick again. He's gone for the chip and chase, but it's straight into danger. The line's not there, but he makes his own tackle. You've got to love the effort there from Patel. You won't find a harder worker. Ball out to 10. He says, oh! And it's a lovely little slice. And it's Kelevdon ball inside Writtle half. And remember, 2-point game. A drop goal could win this. Both teams are blowing now. It's been a hard slog. 3 subs rule has had an impact on both teams today. Kelevdon got middle pod. Won by Rivas. Oh, and it's... Oh! It was a set move off the back, but Atkins has dropped. And it looked like it could have been on. And club captain Dave Briggs says it well there. Relax. Take your time. We don't have to rush this. Let it happen. It'll come naturally. So we may have an opportunity for a few more attacking phases, but I believe we are in the last 5 minutes of the game now. Time's back on. And it's the last push for these gladiators. Let's see if Kelevdon can get a nudge on here or if Writtle will hold firm. And the ball's in and the scrum's moving, if not laterally. Ball's out to 10. Again, he says, have it back in possession in deep territory. Oh, first knock on Writtle. Yeah, first knock on Writtle. So that will be head and feed Kelevdon. But again, the Writtle 10, he knows what he's doing. He's managed this game really well. He says, you've not broken us down in a long time now. Have the ball in your half. You've got to march the whole way back up to get any kind of points. So at the minute, he's making the right choice. Kelevdon needs to find the answer. What can he do to unlock that defence? Now, just a confirmation, there are 4 minutes left in the game. So you'd imagine a few more attacking phases per side here. It really is down to the wire. Referee's not happy. He's going to reset the scrum again. Front row being naughty as per. Regardless of the outcome to this game, you've got to be proud. A debut in Essex Counties 2, and what a performance so far from Kelevdon and Fearing. Writtle are clearly a good team who know this division like the back of the hand. Ball out to Pendry. Finds Parkins. To Reeve. Steps inside. Offload to Smith. Oh, he's lost it. Oh, no! And it could be on here. And it's turned over, and Burgess out wide. Back to Reeve. Advantage Kelevdon. Again, the game's turned very scrappy the last 5 minutes or so. But if something's going to happen, it has to happen now. Ball out to Hamer. Takes a man himself. Looks inside for Chiswell Rivas. Out wide to Masink. Masink sits a man down. It's slow ball. It's not what we need right now. Ball out to Bellingham. Hits him with a G'day. Slow ball again. Writtle haven't got the defensive line set, but Kelevdon aren't in any hurry. Ball out to Parkins. Kicks downfield. And it's going to be gathered pretty easily. And we have our third game at Wimbledon today, kick tennis. And it's knocked on from Reeves. And that ball had snow on it. I think sometimes worrying too much about what you're going to do after you've caught the ball can actually get in the way of you catching the ball. So it'll be head and feed, Writtle Wanderers. Not long left. I wonder if the Writtle 10 is considering a drop goal of his own. Push this game out of touching distance. And ball's in. Ball's at 8. Ball's out. 9 finds 13. Big shot from Smith. Paddle over the top. Ball's out. And it's Kelevdon ball. Could something be on? Could they pull off another miracle? And it is advantage, Kelevdon. And they take penalty advantage. And they're being marked another 10 for giving it lip. You're not a makeup artist. We don't take no lip here. Again, apologies if you pick up any lovely language on the microphone. It's a good nudge again. And it's gone into the jungle of Writtle behind the pitch. But time will be stopped. And it really is now or never for this Kelevdon team. It has been a strong game from both sides. It could have gone either way. But at the moment, they're 2 points down on the halfway line. With has to be less than 2 minutes in the game. Whatever John Beals has up his sleeve, now is the time to use it. I think the main differences in standard, this step up from the Merit Leagues to Essex Counties 2, is you just cannot afford to make these mistakes. Teams do punish you. So it's up. Oh, the ball's stolen by Writtle. It's out. Defensive line's not set. Could be on here. Whipped it out wide. Wingers are one-on-one with Ben Smith. Ball's offloaded. Smith held up in defence. But Writtle are in the Kelevdon 22, and he's knocked into touch, and it'll be Kelevdon ball inside their own 22. But again, look at the territory. They are not where they need to be. They are on the opposite side of where they need to be. And there is not long left. Writtle might fancy stealing this again. Ball's in. Gathered by Hamer. Oh, and Pendry's knocked it on. It wasn't the greatest pass. And that will do it. And it's full time here at Paradise Road. Final score. Writtle Wanderers 16. Kelevdon and Fearing 13.